everyone, it's Jake at Jake's Metal Chat. Hope you're all well and welcome to episode 55 of my Metal Vault, where I will be exploring and showing you my favourite albums within heavy metal to thrash metal to death metal, black metal, doom metal, sludge metal, folk metal, you name it. All of that excellent stuff, as well as talking about the albums. I'll also be talking about the bands. So a brief history and any releases leading up to the album that I have picked. And for this one, there's no releases leading up to this one, just to let you know, but all releases after it. You're going to know this album, you're going to know this band. And if you got to see him at a certain festival back in 1995, that was the only the only festival show, the only one they ever did, of course, the Dynamo Festival in the Netherlands. Because I've watched it on YouTube. What a strong performance from the band. Of course, I am talking about Nailbomb, which was a band project, whichever one you want to say, but formed by Max Cavalera of Soulfly, Cavalier Conspiracy, and of course Sepultura, of course ex-Sepultura, and Alex Newport, who a lot of you know from Fudge Tunnel. Yeah, they formed this band, and obviously they've had various different musicians play on this album, which I will get into when we talk about the album. So here it is, once again, Nailbomb. This is the only album that was released in 1994, point blank. Very strong image right there. Because how I found out about it was actually watching that Dynamo footage, and it was one of the songs on here, which I will obviously get into once I start talking about the album. But I'll show the CDs and I have to take it out. Of course, released on Road Runner Records. Show the back here. Another powerful image right there. And get the book out. I want to try and get this on vinyl. I haven't found it yet. The image again. A little bit of imagery there. Show lyrics. Yeah, like stuff here. What do you call that? Got the Nailbomb logo going out there. Of course, the album cover again, and some band pictures right here of Max and Alex. Of course, when you watch the footage of them playing live at Dynamo, Alex cut his hair off by then, but of course he used to have long hair. You know, because obviously in Fudge Tunnel still had his long hair, but this one cut it short. Because Fudge Tunnel split up around the same time these guys only did their only show. So let's talk about Nailbomb. Formed in Phoenix, Arizona in 1993. They had two different names before that, so Hate Project and Sick Man, before changing it to the name that we know today. And they're classed as industrial thrash metal because there's industrial elements on this album, which I will get to. Of course, politics and social issues are the primary lyrical themes, because all the other bands I've covered either be death, horror, or, you know, last band I covered that was like very industrial was Goldflesh. Don't worry, there'll be more industrial stuff on here. So yeah, band did their only show, so they consequently split up after their only live gig at the Dynamo Festival in 1995, where the album Proud to Commit Commercial Suicide was recorded. So this album was released in 1995, right after this. And they also have the video, the DVD, which I still haven't found yet, of Live at Dynamo, because it would be nice to have in my collection, definitely. And they did a compilation, which came out last year on the 16th of June, of course, 2023, called 1000% Hate. And it would be cool if Max and Alex did get this band back together, but I can understand it was like a one-off. But I ever got to see their live performance. So got it. Well, obviously I was very young at the time, so I couldn't see it. So a little bit of history because I go here on Metallium. So pretty much in April of 2017, Max announced that he planned to play the entire Point Blank album with his band Soulfly, which would have been really cool. But Alex couldn't take part in any of these performances. You know, Max citing his busy schedule because obviously Alex is also a producer, engineer. He's done a lot of different bands over the years, not just his own stuff. He's done stuff for Mastodon, Melvins, Sepultura. Of course, that's how he met Max. Um, yeah, he's done all sorts, and obviously, the only two metal bands he was in were Fudge Tunnel and Nailbomb. And if you listen to Fudge Tunnel, very different. It's more groovy sort of stuff. So, getting to Fudge Tunnel since Alex is on here on this album. Sludge groove metal with alternative noise rock influences. So you can definitely get that when you listen to their albums. But anyway, let's get on to the album in question. Point blank. You get 11 songs altogether. The longest one being the very last track on the album, clocking in at 17 minutes and 51 seconds. So the album is 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 33 seconds. And obviously the two primary members on his album was Max and Alex. But as for guest musicians, they had Andreas Kisser of Sepultura on tracks 2, 9, and 11. Richie, I'm not going to try and say his name, but on guitars, but mainly like the noise parts. Is Richie Cavalier is just a different last name, obviously from Insight, and it obviously plays in, I think. No. It's one of Max's other sons who plays bass on with Cavalier live when I saw him last year. But yes, Richie is the stepson of Max and the son of Gloria, of course, Max's wife. So he did a little bit of guitar on there. At, I don't know what age. Oh, it would have been 9 years old when he done that. Mental. Of course, Max's brother Igor on tracks 1, 5, 7, 10, 12, and there's track 13, which I think might be a bonus track. I'm not entirely sure. And last but not least, the man himself, a shredder, massive, just one of my favorite guitar players ever, Dino Cazares, of Fear Factory, on track number 3. And of course, for the others, like for the engineering, we got Otto doing the engineering, Rusty under the name, so he did stuff for Harlequin, Nailbomb, Nuclear Death, and the other band I'm not even going to try and say. Obviously Max and Alex producing it. Eddie, again, not going to try and say his last name, doing the engineering. But let's have a look at what else he's done besides that. Anthrax, Annihilator, Alice in Chains, Acid Bath, Anvil, Armored Saint. Quite a few things. Broken Hope, Cannibal Corpse, Corner, Corrosion of Conformity, DRI, Danzig, Dio, quite a lot of things. Just naming a few more here. Fear Factory, Flotsam and Jetson, Forbidden, Goat Whore, Gore Guts, Gwar. Go say that, Gwar. Heathen, which I believe played Bloodstock last year. Immolation, the Here and After album, cracking album. King Diamond, Kaisis, Machine Head, Merciful Fate, Motorhead, Of course, Nailbomb, Nasty Savage, Nevermore, Nuclear Assault, Numbskull, the Richly Abused album. Pestilence. What a lot. Queensryche. What's the stuff? Is Sacred Reich as well. Sacrifice, Sadist, 6 Feet Under, Slayer, Spinal Tap, Thin Lizzy, Uncle Slam, really cool band, very underrated. Check them out. Wasp, Zone White, yeah, Zone White definitely a band you should check out. Gloria did some photography. To mention once again, Max's wife, and of course more photography by Dana Wales, which was the son of Gloria and the stepson of Max and brother of Richie. Of course, died in 1996 at the age of 21 in a car accident. So may he rest in peace. Of course, did lyrics for Soulfly's first album, lyrics for Sepultura album Roots, the last album Max would have been on. So rest in peace, brother. So yeah, there we go. Quite a lot of people working on this album. But let's get on to the songs. Let's get on to the songs of this beast of an album. So the first one we go with. Throughout this album, a lot of industrial sampling, industrial sounds, a lot of samples from like news reports and various other things, but a lot of industrial sounding. But when you hear it on like the live performance that they did at Dynamo, wow, just really cool. So we have Wasting Away, first song on here. One of my all-time favorite songs from this, and one of my all-time favorite songs ever. Just that industrial stuff, and then it just pelts right in. And of course, on each song you get Max and Alex taking it in turns on vocals. Max a bit more lower and lower, gruffer, and then you get Alex more a bit higher. Very much a punk attitude with his vocals. And then you get, I'm gonna mispronounce some of these words, so it's like Via Tuma no Q. Probably butchered that. Again, just carrying on that massive amount of brutality. And then you get 24-hour bullshit. You know, because a lot of the lyrics have to do with politics and social issues, which of course Sepultura ended up doing later on in like the early mid 90s, like I think as soon as they got to Chaos AD. And then you got Gorillas. Really, really cool, strong track right there. So much guitar work, and of course, getting back to the who did what. So that's track number 3 had Dino Cazares on it doing guitar, and then you get Blind and Lost, which is one of the shorter tracks on here at 1 minute and 54 seconds, and then there's one that's at 1 minute and 9 seconds. So track number 5 that had Eagle on drums, because he did drums on 1, 5, 7, 10, 12, and obviously, sorry, I misread the tracks. It's 13 tracks. Sorry, I don't know why I said 11. It's been a long day, but anyway, so 13 tracks overall. Just rewind a little bit, and then we get to the second song. Some of your achievements. Some as in like SUM. And that's track number 6, which had no, but obviously it just lists certain numbers for Eagle and drums. And then another one of my favorite tracks, still carrying on that brutality, Cockroaches. Cockroaches. Sorry, I don't know what to say it that way, but whatever. That's track number 7, which of course had Eagle's absolute killer drumming on there. Very, 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 very cool. On to the next one would be For Fuck's Sake, which is track number 8. So I'm assuming Eagle drummed on everything, or might have got different drummers that just haven't been listed on here. But I think a lot of people did all sorts on here. But still a really cool song. But the first song I ever heard on here, track number 9. And the live version's a lot different because tracks 2, 9, and 11 had Andreas on it. Yeah, 2, 9, and 11 had Andreas. So now one Andreas here. That's World of Shit. Very, 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 very cool song because the live version is a lot different than the album version, but still gets its message across. And then we got Exploration, which is a cover of the band Doom. Very, very prominent crust punk band here in the UK. And I'm trying to remember the bass player's name because he joined. Who did he joined Ballenfire, which was Gregor McIntosh's band. I might, you know what? Better yet, still looking on here because I know. Because if you watch the footage of that show, you see the bass player from Doom. I am trying to find him now. Scoot, that's it. Scoot. Because I spoke to him briefly at Temples Fest. Really nice guy, and his missus. He's been Extinction of Mankind, plays guitar for that, and Hammer on guitar, but for Doom he played bass. You know, he's still in the band now because he was in the band when I saw Doom at Temples Fest 2014. But yeah, he came on stage because the bass player they had for the live shows was what's his name? He's the bass. If it might have the members on here, but guest musicians. There we go. Who did bass? Evan, I believe. No, Dave Edwardson, who is the bass player, but he did vocals, and he's done a lot of stuff for Neurosis. Of course, Neurosis around mid 80s, something probably early mid 90s. They were a punk band, but yeah, he did bass. He did bass on that, and I believe if I go on here again, yeah, Scoot Doom. Obviously, he did bass and vocals for obviously the song here, Exploration. Getting back to that, really cool, in your face. Just the original version, of course, an awesome track, but also the cover's really, really cool as well. Getting on to track 11, Religious Cancer. Get a bit of a sample there because on World of Shit you get Hate is Reality, and you know, if you already you know the rest, but for those who haven't, go check this out. Get back to Religious Cancer, get a sample in there, and then more of the same with the guitars, the bass, the drumming, vocals by both Alex and Max. And then you get, I'm probably going to say this wrong here, but it's the last word anyway. So this is Shit Panata. Shit Panata. Hopefully I said that right. 1 minute, 9 seconds long. Very much like, which one is it? Blind and Lost. Straight to the point, more of a punkier number, but still fits the album very well there. And then you get onto the very last track to end it all off, and that is Sick Life, which is 17 minutes and 51 seconds. Because I'm trying to remember where it cuts out at a certain point, the music, and then it's just complete silence. And it's like, because I had to like go through when I was on the bus, like when I was going to the gym, I was like, is there anything else? Can't really remember. And there wasn't. It's just complete silence after that. And yeah, just ends the album just on that note. But yeah, cracking album. You got to listen to it. Um, but I'm gonna get back to the Nailbomb one. Obviously, back to the Dynamo set. So obviously, did play a lot of the songs from it. Obviously, because the only album they ever did. Reese was the keyboard sample player. He's got bands currently. He was in Frontline Assembly, which I believe is more on the. I don't really know, but I'm mentioning these bands because obviously they got members from these bands. The band's still going today. They're more, yeah, more electronic stuff. But yeah, for live stuff, Fear Factory did keyboards for. Obviously, Nailbomb on that set only. But he's done guest stuff for Devin Townsend for his album Lightwork. Check it out. Divine Heresy, one of Dino's other bands, Fear Factory, doing keyboards on Demanufacturer onwards. Blood and Diamonds, Bloodstone and Diamonds by Machine Head. Did string arrangements on that for Paradise Lost, a few 2 albums and singles, and various other bands, and obviously produced a lot of stuff as well. He did pretty much all the albums that are out by Fear Factory now, and a few splits here and there, and for Paradise Lost as well, Megadeth, Machine Head. Yeah, this goes on. This goes on. But yeah, you can see him there just behind his kit. He's going for it. He's going for it. And then I was going to mention Richie comes on for guitars at one point during the set. I have to rewatch it again. I might rewatch it a bit later, or I might play something there. Scoot comes on for obviously the Doom cover. Barry, I'm not going to try and sound like mess it up. Comes on for drums for one song, and then we got DH, who was, if I remember correctly, was the drummer. Yeah, was the drummer in Dead Kennedys. Came on for the song World of Shit, and I think he came on for another song as well. And now looking at this, died 2 years ago in October of 2022. So rest in peace, brother. Rest in peace. But yeah, it comes on. He's going for it because the drummers change up. I think it's just if I go back to the Dynamo, how many drums do they have? Obviously, back. All right, so they had Barry for tracks 4 to 6, DH from 7 to 9, and I think just Eagle, 1 to 3, 10, 11. And then last but not least, we have Evan Seinfeld, who has bands currently, but the last band he was in from 86 to 87, because none of the bands I'm looking at on here, on Metallum, Demise. Obviously came on, did bass and vocals for Nailbomb, guest stuff as well, and did music stuff for Sepultura, so lyrics for track number 3, and produced the demo Death on the BMT by Life of Agony, which I believe the first drummer of Typo Negative ended up joining. But yeah, there you go. So whoever got to see that Dynamo set, jealous, very much so. And I know I say this a lot, but if you haven't heard this album, then go and check it out. It's just, I say a lot of the same things for these albums, but they're worth saying again. This album's incredible. Absolutely incredible. I mean, if you're more just into your thrash metal and you don't like all the industrial stuff, you're probably not going to like it. I'm being honest now. But if you like a bit of industrial and you also like your thrash, you're going to like this. Because it's got all those industrial elements mixed with thrash and is a little bit punky, like I've said with some of the songs. Just, oh man. I mean, there's a lot of bands that only do one album. I know Demlic's only done one album. Trying to think of the other bands I've mentioned on here so far. I've only done maybe one album, only two. But I think Alex and Max formed this to do just one hell of an album, and they achieved that with this. Which then comes to my overall conclusions of the album, my overall thoughts. And again, some of the same words here. This is heavy. And that word again I used earlier, incredible. Very much in your face, very much that hard-hitting punk attitude on a industrial thrash metal album. Max and Alex did an excellent job doing this. And of course, having Igor and Andreas and all the other musicians that I've mentioned on here all did an excellent job bringing this album to life. And most importantly, that all important word that I say before I end up putting the album down and saying the end of the episode, it's a timeless masterpiece. Like the last one I showed, which was Hacked Up for Barbecue by Mortician, of course, a timeless masterpiece there. And all the other albums that I've mentioned so far on this series. Because I mentioned a lot and I still got a load more to do. So much more to do. I could not do this episode without mentioning another underrated classic such as this. And yeah, I got another 3 on this page to do. Of course, I was meant to do this yesterday, but I was doing so much yesterday and I just couldn't fit it in. So I thought I'll do it on a Wednesday. And you know, just love this album. Of course, I had a really nice busy day today as well. And you know, spend time with a very special person. But you know, and to get back to that word special, this is a really special kind of album, just mentioning all the industrial metal, industrial parts mixed in with thrash. Very, very, very thrashy, punky, industrial stuff. So if you like a bit, so you like your mix your punk, your mix your thrash, your mix your industrial. Excuse me. Definitely this one. So once again, heavy, in your face, incredible, timeless masterpiece right here. Nailbomb and Point Blank. Yet this album, I can't remember where I actually got this now, but it's going nowhere. It's staying in my collection for a very long time, and that is it for another episode of My Metal Vault. And oh god, there's more albums like this definitely that I'll just very, very, very much. This would have got lost in the mix, but I'll say metal albums because I've done this before. Metal albums '94. So, that album that I mentioned from '94, Burn My Eyes by Machine Head, Deliverance by Corrosion of Conformity came out that year. De Mysterious Dawn Satanas by Mayhem. Ceremony of Opposites by Samael, cracking album, listen to it. For Victory by Boltthrower, listen to it. Of course, Point Blank's been mentioned here. Mortal Throne of Nazarene by Incantation. Lunar Strain by In Flames, one of their absolute best, along with the Jester Race. Terminal Spirit Disease by At the Gates. When the Kite String Pops by Acid Bath. The Ending Quest by Gourmet. Excellent Swedish Death. Bunch here. Name one more because I mentioned this already. Blasphemy Made Flesh by Cryptopsy. Best albums from them? That one and None So Vile. So yeah. A lot of albums came out that year, and a lot of them would have been overlooked because some like, oh, let's focus on this one. But I thought if I do a series like this, I'm going to mention underrated classics like this. because they are worth a mention. They're worth any metalhead's time. But just to repeat myself again, if you love your punk, you love your thrash, and you love your industrial, you love stuff with industrial elements or, punk elements and things, definitely this album is for you. And all the other albums that I've mentioned, that those might be for you more than, say, other stuff that I've shown. But yeah, thank you once again for tuning in. Very much appreciated. I've over 700 subscribers. I don't think I've only mentioned that in one video, but thank you very much for those that have subscribed. I got a new subscriber because I checked when I looked at my emails. When I looked at the notification pot, email notifications. And yeah, it's going really well. So to all you out there, to all you veterans, this album, if you got it, you got on CD, cassette, vinyl, give it another playthrough. Give it another playthrough, because again, it will bring back some memories. Be sure to like this video, share it around, comment down below. So for anyone that's got the album and heard it the first time, what was your overall thoughts on it? And if you were at the Dynamo show, what was your favorite memory of that show, or was it all just amazing? And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to keep up to date with everything that I got coming on this channel. So more my metal or underground metal releases, which I will get onto in a minute. I just gotta go through that collection because there's so many things I gotta get through. Chats coming up. I got some chats lined up. Just got to talk to the people in question, the guests in question, and then that's about it, really. So thank you for tuning in. I've been Jake at Jake's Metal Chat. Keep the banner of metal well and truly high. And I'll see you all again in another episode of my Metal Vault.